is going on, everybody? I'm back again with another video, and I am back again in my second home, Philippines, especially in Makati. So I'm just gonna be walking around here, probably like a little short walk and talk video. But as you guys read in the title, I left the US and I'm gonna be based out here in the Philippines. So, we're gonna walk around here, explain you a little bit of what's going on. So without further ado, join me. So if you guys have seen my videos for a while, I've been multiple times to this beautiful country and I love it a lot here, and I've always thought about, staying here for a longer time. And I finally made that decision, to stay here for a longer time because I love this country. I love everything that it has to offer, the fact that I could be in a city like this and then take a little flight and be by the beaches and mountains and natures. But then there's many other countries around Asia that I want to travel, or we travel again. And it's good if I'm based out here because I'm really close to those countries and the tickets are a little bit more cheaper. So this is like a local part of Makati over here, Camagong Road. But if you walk straight, it's Ayala Avenue. You'll see the high-rise buildings. This is one of my favorite districts in the Philippines, Makati. But yeah, like I say, I thought it would be like a good idea for me to be based out here somewhere where it's tropic. And then if I want to travel, to other countries within a few hours, 2-3 hours, I'm in other countries in Southeast Asia or Eastern Asia or the central part. So, I want to focus more on traveling. Like I said, from some reason I named my channel Explorers, Manny Explorers. And I've been focusing on making a lot of videos out in New Jersey and New York City. But like I say, the time over there is over until I visit again till further notice. So now I think it's time for me to focus, in this country and other countries around and walk around, explore, and take the channel, to another level to see what happens, I explain a little bit of the situation. So now, let's explore around the beautiful Makati area in Metro Manila. I tell you, the last time I came here, it was actually summer, April. During the summer season, and the weather here was brutally hot, but now it's actually perfect. It is kind of in the hotter side, but it's more manageable for me to walk. So a huge contrast to the last time I came here a couple of months ago, how the weather changed. I think right now it's rainy season, but today the weather's a little bit settled. Yesterday was pouring out, so that's why I'm kind of doing this video early in the morning to see what's going on out here. So, but now I'm approaching Ayala Avenue, so we're gonna cruise around, and then I'll take you to Legazpi Park, which is like a local park in Makati. Here we are heading Ayala. Gotta watch out with some of these over here. Ayala's kind of like the main financial avenue in Makati, the heart of it all. It's gonna get more interesting when I walk ahead. Then Ayala resembles a lot Manhattan in New York City with the tall buildings. Or not just Ayala, Makati is full of skyscrapers. And then on the other side will be Bonifacio Global City. It's divided by EDSA and a couple of private residential areas. The biggest I gotta be really careful crossing the streets out here in Manila. So this area here doesn't have a light, so I just gotta follow what the locals do out here. And today is Saturday, but I see a lot of movement out here. People, I see carinderias out in the street. A lot of people walking around here, but I'll show you how nice it gets ahead of me. Here's a busy intersection, Ayala and Buendia Avenue. Buendia goes to the other side of Makati. Then it connects it to Poblacion area, which is the district. And then over here's where it enters the hardcore, of Ayala. So I gotta tell you, for the first time, it always happens when I go back to the States, but I'm jet lagged, man, so forgive me if I'm a little bit slow. Been here 2 days, but I'm still adjusting to the time. My mind is still scheduled in the New York time, but I flew straight, from New York to Manila. So 17-hour flight out here, and wow, I am jet lagged, man, but I'm gonna make the most off of it and explore around here. And then this is, Ayala, like I say, pretty modern city out here in the Philippines with clean, impeccable streets. I filmed this neighborhood a couple of times, because I'm back here, I'm just taking it easy, and then I'm gonna figure where do I walk next, Then over here, if I wanna make it to the other side, I gotta go underground in the streets, Salcedo Street. So hopefully it takes me to the other side. And I'm walking the underpassage. It looks like a subway station, but they only got the MRT right by EDSA. That's like the only station over here, but I think they're building, like I say, a new subway train that should be opening in 2028, I believe. It's gonna be all fully underground. But over here's like the underpassage. They haven't decorated that one yet. There's a lot of underpassages that are actually nicer, with street art and all of that. Then I'm going up the escalators, head up to the streets. So, you know, a really nice developed city that they got going on over here. And here it feels like I'm back in the States. But there you go, the motorcycle. You can see how they keep the sidewalks and the plants and all of that. And of course the skyscraper is pretty modern. Since it's a Saturday, it's pretty quiet out here. But on a weekday, you'll see it busy because people come out here and they work. Most of the people, they focus like in the malls. Because there's a couple of huge malls out here in Makati. But I love how Makati has a lot of greenery with trees and stuff in the urban area. That's something that I think BGC lacks, which is also like the other business district here. Probably more famous than this one. You know, a lot of foreigners love to come and stay in Bonifacio Global City, but it lacks like a lot of parks and trees. So this is something that Makati has. Also another thing, Makati has like a mixture. You know, it has an area like this that's pretty developed with skyscrapers, but they also have like the traditional barangays if you go a little bit outside, and you can see like the real life of the Philippines. You know, something that you really don't find like in BGC unless you cross to the other side towards Pambo, which I made a video there last time I came in Pambo, and it was a really nice area that I walked. You know, the streets were pretty nice, the people were really friendly and pretty, you know, awesome out there. That's the beauty about exploring this country out here. So, and you see how it keeps going. But pretty quiet out here today. But good, that way I got the whole sidewalk to myself to walk and explore. So, and the streets, pretty nice in this sign. But I gotta do like a couple of blocks like ahead, so that way I make into the regular Legazpi Park. You know, a lot of people like to focus on Ayala Triangle, which is around that side. I'm gonna make it towards Legazpi Park. Let me just study the map to see where it is. And once you pass Legazpi Park, it's like a set of malls combined together. They got the Greenbelt, Glorieta, SM Makati, and then they got Ayala Center. It's like a mix of train station, but they built a mall and it connects you to the MRT station. See, this over here has the street art comparing to the other one, so they beautify it and they keep it pretty nice. And over here I'm making it to a local street, and over here they got like an overpassage. I think this overpassage will connect you, you know, a couple of blocks towards Greenbelt. I think it's really good when it rains pretty hard that they have a ceiling just like this one. Because over here, like when it rains, it really rains super hard. And right now it's rainy season, but today, hopefully it stays like this so I can be out here exploring and filming. But there you can see like the overpassage on top of me, so I gotta figure where the park is. Gonna check my Google Maps. So here I made it in a regular street, and you can see how nice the development is. Like the sidewalk got cobblestones. Then I like how the street is literally covered with the trees, you know. So it kind of helps out with the weather, because over here it's tropical, so it gets very hot and humid. Even today, it's not hot. It's like in the low 80s, but I'm feeling the humidity. Like, you know, the more I walk, I'm starting to sweat. But, you know, I guess no matter what time of the year you come to the Philippines, it's always like humid out here. So now I just got to make it towards Legazpi Street. And I think that should take me towards the local park that's out here. I think it's a block ahead of me. And it's like an urban oasis right here in the heart of Makati. Like combined with the buildings and everything, they got like a nice local park that you can walk around and chill, you know, for a bit and just relax, you know. That's one of the things I like about urbanism, the way how they got the areas are pretty walkable, and then they got parks for people to chill out here. So, and you see how nice the area is? Yep, Legazpi Street, then I make my left, and it should take me to the park. Look at this tree over here. I like how they don't chop it down, they just maintain it. That's nice. But now let's walk over here. So the park should be here. Then I like how these buildings are designed. It reminds me a lot of the same architecture of San Juan in Puerto Rico. But I think it makes sense because it's the same type of tropical weather. So, like I said it many times, Philippines just reminds me a lot of my home, Puerto Rico. Just an Asian version, you know. It's like a little brother. But it makes sense because, you know, they were both like colonized centuries ago by Spain. So that's why it made sense, but there's a lot of similarities in terms of culture, the food, even their names are in Spanish. So he went to Legazpi Park, and then the other side is Washington Park. So it's like literally two parks combined in one, and then it's surrounded by the buildings. So we're gonna enter right here. So here it is. Oh, I like those trees over there. Looks nice. Legazpi Active Park. So we're gonna take a little stroll around here to see what's going on. And then enter the park, you see the nice neighborhoods, you know. And then there's more over here, the buildings. It's kind of reminding me of Armenia a little bit, the area that I stay. So a block ahead of me, it gets even nicer because there's like more trees in the park. So probably I get a little bit of a breeze over there. I just gotta wait for the lights to cross. comparing to other parts of Manila, I don't think it's a good idea to be jaywalking out here. So this is what you get, the little local park out here, and then this one. Then they got Salcedo on the other side. They got these taxis over here that are Vietnamese, so now they made their way out here to Manila. So that's really cool. And then here we enter Legazpi. You know, a lot of people, they focus on Ayala Triangle, but this one over here is actually pretty nice. I like how they maintain it. It's like literally like an urban oasis right here, so. And there should be like a fountain like a little bit more ahead of me, and I like the trees over here, how nice they are. Oh yeah, it feels like if you just enter another world. Wow, look at this. It reminds me of in Puerto Rico, like they call the ceiba, this tree that goes all the way up like this. Then they got this one. I don't know, looks like a sugar cane. Tropical weather, what a beautiful park. It's not too big, but it's gorgeous. And we're walking around here. Got the females over there, you know, brushing and maintaining the park. Super clean. I think over here, there should be a fountain. I think this is the other side of the park. Not too busy today, you know. Pretty chill. This proves that there's areas in Manila that despite the concrete jungle, you could get a little peaceful vibe, you know. And look at this cat sleeping. Wow, it reminds me of one of our cats. Okay, but surrounded by water or river. And this river, they have fishes flying around here. Reminds me of the little park that I was showing you guys in Battery Park in New York. Like over here, I'm not sure my camera can capture. There are a couple of fishes around here, see? It's another one over there. So it keeps going all the way towards the other side. Then they got some decorations, even restrooms if you gotta go. Then it goes to the other side. Oh, the restrooms are that way. Let me walk over here to see what's going on. The last time I came, I don't think I walked this side of the park. It's probably mostly gonna be apartment complex. I'm making it towards Paseo de Rojas. And ahead of me is the Greenbelt Mall, which is pretty big, but I'm not gonna show you guys because I already filmed there a few times. I think I'm just gonna make it back towards Ayala to see what are the vibes over there, and then probably walk towards a couple of malls to refresh myself from the humid weather out here. So then over here, you see how the streets is literally covered with trees. And they got like buildings over that way. I think they're gonna build something new over that way, like an extension of Greenbelt. You can see the spot is being really nice. They keep on developing the area a lot. And then see, I like the cobblestones. I also like the fact how they got a ceiling around here. I think it could protect you from the sun and from the rain, you know, whether it's a dry, hot, sunny season or rainy season. So they manage to protect the people from the weather. But then Ayala Avenue is over that way, so we're gonna make it back towards that way, and then I'll figure what's gonna be my next move. Look at this building, it looks pretty interesting. Like the architecture, the design, it's really cool. Has like that nice colonial architecture. Even the inside, it looks nice. It must be like an office or something like that. So it sparks up like my curiosity out here, you know. But there's security over there, so I guess it's like a private building. And this is the same overpasses that was in the other side that I was walking, so you can literally connect all of this to the other side. Reminds me a bit of Bangkok, Thailand. They got an overpass just like this. You see how far it goes, and then over here they're building up like more. They're building up like a more high-rise skyscraper. I got a way to cross over here on this side. Well, it seems like they're renovating this underpassage, you know, because you can see it doesn't have the street art. I can see that they're a little retouch. This is where it takes me straight to Ayala Triangle, which is like the main park right here in Makati. I already showed you Legazpi and Washington Park. Now we're gonna make it towards Ayala Triangle to see what are the vibes, and then cross towards the other side to, I think it's Makati Avenue, and then past where the malls are. But right here, this would be straight in the heart of the park. Yeah, I could tell they really retouched this. Wow, they did it pretty fast though. It wasn't like this when I came here a couple of months ago. Once you exit over here, we are in the beautiful Ayala Triangle Park. The main entrance is gonna be over that way, and then you get some views of Ayala Avenue. See, they're building more and more high-rise buildings over here, so. It's a busy intersection, Ayala and Paseo de Rojas, and the beautiful buildings behind me. Tell you, the security people are pretty nice. I was walking around, I guess because I'm a foreigner, and you know, they give you like a huge smile. So that's one of the things I like about Philippines, you know, the friendly hospitality of the people. And that's why I'm making it my home base right here, you know. Trying to see how it is, you know, if I like it, which I know I'm gonna like it, you know. And I got family members out here, so. But let's walk in towards the main park to see what's going on over here. We got this huge ceiling ahead of me as a couple of jeepney stops. There's a lot of people that live in other parts of the capital, probably a little bit outside, and come out here to work. You see the main sidewalk and how they keep up with vegetation. And of course, it ain't Philippines if they don't got a Jollibee, the icon of the Philippines. Even Philippines runs some Dunkin', just like they say, America runs some Dunkin', so is the Philippines. And then we keep going ahead over here to see what's going on. I'm curious to try those tapsies, Vietnamese tapsies. But most of the times when I come here, I always take the Grab if I need to go somewhere further. Grab is literally like the Uber version in Southeast Asia, you know, so it gets you around. But I also take the MRT because it's pretty cheap. And this is the entrance of Ayala Triangle Park. It looks like a regular office building. But then you go in the back and it's a really gorgeous urban oasis park right here in the heart of the Philippines. Like I say, the metro part of Manila doesn't really get a good reputation, you know. But just like anywhere, there are really good and bad areas. You just gotta know where to go. There's tons of really great areas out here. And I've been here a couple of times, but I always love coming out here, you know. It's just gorgeous and beautiful out here. So the last 2 times I came, they were renovating something over this side. I wonder if it's open already. Then look at this over here. It's beautiful, right? Here you see a little bit of rendering what they want to do. Yeah, they're doing some repairs over here. Let's take a little look at what is happening. The garden remains open. We continue to grow the space. Okay, so I guess they're just modernizing the area a little bit more by the entrance, trying to make it even better. That's nice. And then they got like coffee shops over that way, you know. The trees, especially the trees in the back, I see people there. I guess they're doing selfies. I love how big these trees are and how they preserve it. And then the fountain out here in the middle. So yeah, they opened this area. They were renovating it. That's cool. We'll take a look in a bit. And then this over here is pretty dope. Let me walk towards the other area to see what's going on where they did the repairs. Well, they got a couple of workers out there fixing some stuff. So here you got people just sitting, chilling. Yeah, this was the area that was closed. This would take you to another avenue. And that side is Makati Avenue, where I rented a car a few times to drive around the Philippines. Then they got like a little area here where you can have coffee, food, and stuff like that. So I think I'm gonna walk towards that side to see what's going on. I'm not gonna lie, this area reminds me a little bit of Kuala Lumpur, where the Petronas Towers are, and also a little bit of Singapore. But comparing to Singapore, I think there's more action in Makati. Singapore is beautiful and modern, but it's not really like much people because they mostly walk underground. I'm gonna walk towards where the coffee shop area is to see what's going on. Then I'm gonna walk towards the other side of the park, you know. Not really a big park, but it's actually like a nice looking park. You got some restaurants, mostly pasta, Filipino joints. There's another cafe. It seems like they're a little bit fancy, but they're pretty nice. And they even have Thai food restaurants out here, so it seems like they got like a private garden out here, so. But I think I'm gonna walk towards that side where, I don't know, there's like a building that has some greenery and some skyscrapers in the back. I'm actually seeing some stairs in this building. This is kind of reminding me of the Cascades in Yerevan in Armenia. Something similar to that, like they got some stairs and you go all the way in the top. It's kind of bringing me that vibe, man. Then ahead of me is a car rental where I rented a car. But I want to see, I guess it's like a main office if I go up here. Then we got a cute kitty. Hey kitty, what's up? Chilling? Hey cat, don't worry, I'm not gonna harm you. I'm just saying hi. You doing good? Patrolling the park, cat? That's good. One thing about Asia, you'll see cats everywhere. So if you love cats, you're definitely gonna love, you know, Southeast Asia or other parts of Asia. Like, you know, they really take good care of them. I heard Istanbul is really good in terms of cats. Like I said, they got the park and then they got this here. I guess it's like a mall underneath, but it's surrounded by, you know, the grass and then the high-rise buildings. So it's pretty good how they match the buildings. Oh look, see, talking about cats, we got more cats out here. Wow. So they actually built a playground here. I don't remember seeing this. Wow, this is cute. So you can bring your kids over here and play. Yeah, the park never ceases to amaze me, so now I'm just gonna hit the streets back to see what are the vibes over there. So look at this other cat sleeping. They really have a good life though. They don't work anything, they just chill. Yeah, I'm talking about you, cat. You open up your eyes. What's up? Have a good one, all right? Take care of the park. Also, I've been noticing a lot of foreigners out here. You know, a lot of them choose to live here, or if they visit and they stay in the Metro Manila area, they stay here in Makati, you know. It's kind of like the main hub of the capital, the national capital region of the Philippines. So, yep, I can see myself living around here too in Makati, because it reminds me a little bit of home in New York. So, but yeah, you got the cool yachts over there working hard to maintain the park, you know, pretty nice and impeccable. So they really do a good job, you know, with the city and everything. I see some people chilling there in the tables, and the cat just laying down with them. I tell you, if you love cats, you will love it out here in Asia. Then over here ahead, which I've filmed it a few times, this is the iconic Peninsula Hotel. Pretty high-end hotel here right across Ayala Triangle Parks, and you can see the skyscrapers surrounded by the trees, which gives it like a nice vibe. Now I'm in the other side, right across the street, Peninsula Hotel. Like I say, pretty nice area. In this area where they got a couple of malls combined together, where you can connect from one mall to another one without having to exit the street level, you know. We got Glorieta, which is pretty big, SM, Makati, and then of course one Ayala Center, which is like a mixed-use office buildings and malls combined together, and then we connect you to the bus terminal and the MRT station. And then you see how nice the sidewalk is right here, with all its trees and everything. Kind of quiet, but even on a Saturday, you still see cool stuff happening out here comparing to many other cities, especially back home in the States. This is like the beginning of Ayala, and you can see tall buildings, and ahead it will be EDSA, which is one of the busiest highways that connects you to the entire Metro Manila, you know. Also known, the original name is Epifanio de los Santos, but they call it like a short term EDSA. So, and over here in the corner is One Ayala. I think it's probably one of the newest buildings that they build out here, so modern. And this over here is a bus terminal. Pretty nice and modern, let me show you. Then they got like some food stalls over here. You can take buses to different areas surrounding the region. It's got security and everything here, so it's pretty nice. EDSA carousel, this goes all over EDSA, the bus, and then we'll take it to more. I've taken this bus a couple of times. I think if I go on top, it'll take me straight to the mall. But yeah, you know, a good way for you to commute around. Up here is the mall, so in the first floor is the bus station, then the mall. What do you got here? Speed dating? I'm not sure. I see a lot of foreigners out here. Let me see, let's celebrate the European Day. Oh, languages, this is cool. Celebrate the European Day of Language. Do we see anybody from Spain? I want to speak Spanish out here. It seems like they really renovated all this area. It's so cool that you can go down the bus station and then cool off and walk around here to the mall. Then they got a couple of areas that are connected to the other side, to other malls around here. So that's what I like about, you know, the metro part of Manila. All the varieties that you can get out here. But yeah, pretty much a traditional mall that you can get any other place. But I think I'm gonna wrap up the video out here, you know, just a little beginning. I'm gonna start planning what places should I go around here, what other countries should I visit. You know, I'm still recovering from a jet lag, you know, but I thought I would make a video because I haven't filmed a video in a minute out here, you know. So I'm back again in the Philippines, gonna stay here for a while, you know. Whatever God has planned for me, I go with the flow. So that was the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all, and peace.